Let your love flow through the smooth spot, the place you go to share all your dreams. Let your love flow through the smooth spot, where nothing's ever bad as it seems. You can free up your mind, leave all your troubles behind at the smooth spot, where music makes love.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Smooth Spot. You're here, we're here, live from the Smooth Spot, my TV show on the Facebook network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. And you're out there. You're one of my 2 billion audience members. Well, and I'm glad to see you there. Well, I mean, really to have you see me here. But I can see you if you make a comment. Let me know that you're out there. Say something, and you can let me know that you're there. So what is this show? What the heck's going on? Well, we're here in the Smooth Spot, as I showed you, the Smooth Spot recording studio, and this is the place that my life's work, the place I've created, where I've worked with artists to help them realize their artistic dreams and their musical projects and video projects, all kinds of different things. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be great to have a show where I could introduce you to some of the wonderful, fascinating, and very talented people that I get to know, that I've gotten to know through work and through recording, through all the people that come through the Smooth Spot. And so that's the show, live from the Smooth Spot. And I have a very exciting guest to introduce you to today. But first of all, where are we? Where is the Smooth Spot? Hey, let's take a look at it on the map. There we are, right in the middle of Times Square, right in the middle of Manhattan. We zoom in, we're between 45th and 46th Street, between 9th and 10th, you see? Now we'll look from the Earth, coming down from Google Earth. There we are, right in the west side of Manhattan, in the middle of the Broadway Theater District. There's the famous back door, you see? And then coming in off the street, there we are, the Smooth Spot. So here we are. And I have a very exciting guest I'm going to introduce you to today. And his name is David Belmont. And he is a guitar player, a musician. He's a poet. He's also a political activist, and he's a great friend. And I was thinking about what song to do as my opening number. A great friend, Dave, took me to, I think, one of the only concerts I have ever been to at Madison Square Garden. We went together and saw Elton John in his farewell concert at Madison Square Garden, and one of the songs he did was this one. Tiny Dancer. Let me change these audio settings just a tiny bit. There we go. Blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band, pretty eye, pirate smile, you marry a music man, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Jesus free,
tickets out for God. Looking back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Piano man, he makes his stand in the auditorium. Looking on, she sings the songs, the words she knows, the tune she hums. Oh, how it feels so real, lying here with no one near, only you, and you can hear me when I say softly, slowly, hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band, pretty eye, pirate smile, you merry music man, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Oh, how it feels so real, lying here with no one near, only you can hear me when I say softly, slowly, hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Thank you. Little Elton John for you, tiny dancer. Gwen Lowenheim is out there. Hello, Gwen. Good to have you out there. Gwen has been here many times. We'll hear more about that. A big friend of the Smooth Spot. Wow, wow. Well, let's see. There we go. Now I should, I'm a little surprised that Dave isn't here already. I told him 5 o'clock. Maybe he's just a little behind schedule, but I'm sure he's close. I'm sure he's somewhere close. Wait a minute. Wait, and I'm hearing in my ear he's not here. He's not here, but he is close. No, he's not even close. He's far away across the continent.
but we do have a camera. Let's see where Dave is. Let's go to Dave.
Mike, I'm in Amsterdam. I forgot which week, which decade,
Which continent?
which century.
Oh my God.
But
Well, I'm glad we can see you. You're looking good. It's a beautiful place where you are.
well, I took some notes.
Yeah?
I took some notes on my trip here. So
Yeah?
maybe we can do that and then figure out how we can get me to the smooth spot.
Oh,
How's that?
All right.
Okay.
Maybe like a little poem.
Yeah, a little poem, poetic notes.
Maybe I'll add some music.
That'd be great. If you could
Fantastic.
accompany me a little bit, sort of cross the pond.
Okay, I'll do
Okay.
my best.
Squeaky kids frolic in the fountain behind the Reich Museum, while Coldplay melodies from bowed violin reverberate across its brick archways. Houseboats line the canals, bikes randomly racked on the sidewalk above. Motorized wheelchairs duke it out with the killer bikes. Women on the street in Centrum look better than women in red light district windows. The bouquet of apple cake mixes with the muster of marijuana. Damkring coffee shop regular admires my old school joint rolling technique and nicknames me the original OG. Civic workers clean the streets barely in time for the next day's party. Now Mike, I think you might have to beam me up.
All right.
Beam me up to the
I'm
smooth
going to
spot.
try.
What-
Look, Robert Sanders says, glad to stop in. Looking forward to David.
There you go.
How do you like that? And thank you.
I
Gwen
hope to get
said,
there soon.
She
Come
said,
on.
amazing. Yes,
Come on.
yes. I will work on the whole beaming technology, and you see what you can do, and
Okay, I just
try to get here.
okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I got an idea. While Dave is on his way here, let me show a video. This is a little music video that Dave and I made together. You'll recognize the Smooth Spot back in the old days. This is the pre-2010 Smooth Spot, and a little song that we did together. Jesus, I don't even know what year. A long time ago. It just surprises me why that guitar track was so long. Hardly hear it.
Probably should boost that sucker.
Mr. Miles. Wow. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, I wish I had Dave here. We could talk more about. Wait a minute. I'm being told he's not here yet, but we do have a camera. Let's go to Dave. Let's see if we can find out about that video. Dave, where are you now, Dave?
What a groove. I have no idea. I might be in a wormhole, Mike.
Yeah, I think so. I think that looks like a wormhole to me. That's wild. So
Yeah.
the video, Mr. Miles.
Oh, you played the Mr. Miles video.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that video,
yeah.
man. Helen Branchef recorded that over here, you know, at your studio.
Our
Mike.
neighbor.
Remember that?
She was our neighbor upstairs.
Right, third floor. When I used to live in the building, right down the hall from me. Yep. Jerry McCord on bass, Josh Nerriton playing the drums, and you playing all kind of keys, man. That trumpet sound.
That was pretty cool.
Michael
It was fun.
used to play trumpet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guided me. You were my guide
Yeah,
through
right.
it, so I appreciate it.
And that was back in 2007, something like that.
Yeah. Before the
Long
vocal
time ago.
booth.
Now, man, you know, this fantastic place I'm in now, it brings to mind yet another poem. Mike, can you give me a little spacey kind of thing here? You know, Ooh, yeah, that's great. That's great. A beautiful geezer lets his proverbial verbal non-existent hair down. Incapable of doing nothing, he orders a dark and stormy Daniels from a barren bartender. He is struggling with the concept of memes while inside a development simulator. He was once into splitting atom hairs at flute boot camp. Now he longs to cruise on a boat under a bridge to nowhere. Spying a security guy smoking weed on the edge of the Danube. His Euro nose hairs impinge on bright plastic Viennese chopsticks. He suffers a relapse of memory while canceling doctor's appointments. His life is becoming an expensive illusion. Mike, we're getting somewhere. I think if we keep this beaming thing going,
We'll get someplace.
We'll get someplace.
All right.
You got to get me to the hood, man.
All right.
Maybe you have another video you could play.
Yeah, I think I do. But you try to get here in person.
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay. All right.
I'm doing my best.
All right. Wow. Dave is quite a poet. Let's see. John Davis is out there. Hi, Michael. Looking forward to your show. Well, John, he's one of my big fans. Good to see you, John. Good to see you out there. Now, now I'm waiting for Dave to get here from wherever wormhole he was. This is another video. We did this song. Did we record this song here? I think we did. And then I did the video for this song. Check it out.
When you're a charmer, the apples fall, and you're just a little collector. You got 'em all. When you're a charmer, people respond. They can't see the hidden agenda you got going on. And when you're weak, it's a holy grail. You're 2 for 1, it's up by yourself. And that's a wall that you cannot scale. No, you're forced to borrow wonder. When you're a charmer, the world applauds. like everyone else. And then your thinking goes black and white, and your hunger and appetite. This is a battle that you cannot fight. No, you only can surrender. That you only can surrender. Oh, you only can surrender. That you only can surrender.
Yeah, how could I forget? That's me on the organ, and Arnie Wise on the drums. And anybody else I'm forgetting? I don't think so. And Charmer, great song. But Dave, I'm hoping Dave. Wait a minute. I'm hearing from my producer in my ear. He's not here, but he is very, very close. He's just a few. Dave, there you are. You're in Manhattan.
Man, this space ain't shit works, man.
Yeah, you're a few blocks from
I'm
here.
totally sorry. Where am I exactly, Mike?
I think you're on 45th and 8th Avenue.
Right. Did you show the Charmer video?
I did.
You the man. That's Jerry McCord on bass.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry McCord's all over our music. In fact, I've been playing with Jerry since 1968.
Yeah, great guy,
Right.
Jerry.
Yeah, and
Fantastic.
fun to work with. Great bass player. Now, Mike, I'm a block away, but I have one more poem.
Well, all right.
And this is a poem that's about something that happened a block away from where I'm standing, right on 44th and 8th.
Right in the hood.
Yeah, right in the hood. Let me tell you about it.
Let's hear it.
A thin white man, medium height, bright eyes, slightly worn blue jeans, a nice striped shirt that he's had on for a few too many days. He's underdressed for this winter day, holding a 5x8 piece of lined white paper. Wants money, no doubt. Seems to be in his 30s, but you never can tell. He says his name is Tom, and he's a vet. I'm thinking Iraq War. I notice his bad teeth, misaligned with maybe one missing. Not quite the British look, more West Virginia. He performs his script like a ball rolling down a hill, bumping along, picking up steam. Occasionally points to the paper, letters and numbers in several sizes, shapes, and handwritten fonts. He lives in a shelter in Jersey, can stay there as long as he's working. Just lost his job, went to the city for a couple of interviews, thinks he maybe landed a gig in Brooklyn, but has to get back to the shelter now. He says he got MS from his mom. The disease is supposed to skip a generation, but in his case, didn't. He likes this corner. It's as far from Port Authority as he can handle. It'll cost him $29.50 to get home. $19.50 for one bus, $10 for the other. He shows this to me on the piece of paper, written proof. I hand him $30. His face lights up like a kid who just got a case of candy. He asks where he can get something cheap to eat. I point down 44th Street toward 9th Avenue. There's a pizza place right off the corner. He hesitates, says he don't want to lose his spot. I say it's 1 block there, 1 block back. As he walks away, I notice his limp. Mike,
Yeah.
I think I'm limping a little today after some heavy tennis this morning.
I like the
So,
poem. It's beautiful.
thank
Our
you.
neighborhood is
Thank you.
inspiring.
I feel you.
A crazy
I
neighborhood.
think I can get here real soon, Mike.
Okay.
I'm
All
only
right.
a block away, okay?
Well, do what you can.
I'm on my
do
way,
what you
Mike.
can.
I'm on my way.
All right. Dave is a poet. Oh, let's see. Gwen Lowenheim says Jerry. That's right. And he was our Jerry McCord, our bass player. And well,
Mike, where am I?
Dave, I hear your voice.
I was
but-
coming to the smooth spot. Where am I?
Oh my God! Where? Oh my goodness! Look at you! You're in the vocal booth, Dave. You're in the booth.
Right.
You're right there.
It's familiar.
Yeah,
Been here many
you've
times.
been there before.
It's amazing. I don't know how I got here, but you're right out there. Let
Come
me
on
join
out.
you, man.
Come on out.
Hey, man.
What a journey!
Woo! Oh, a little feedback from my lavalier. That's great. I love it.
Someday I'll remember that. Someday I will. Take a seat. Take a seat. Take
Dangerous
a seat.
around here, man. I'm telling you.
Wow. You're here, the two of us in the same place. You see, look at all these comments.
It's great.
Robert said that was sweet about the video, I think. There's people out there. How do you like that? Here, to
I
hear
love it. I
about
love
you.
people, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. This is the first
Yeah.
time I've ever been on Facebook television.
Yeah, you're on a live TV show.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Where to begin? Where to begin? I was thinking, well, let's take a look at some pictures because I have an idea how we can cover some of the. There are many different chapters of your life.
Yes.
One of them I think of even before because it's not in the picture. How do we know each other?
Well, how do we know? Well, I used to live in this building.
That's right. The same
That's
building.
right. And when we first moved in, you came upstairs and you played. You had
Yeah.
some friends, And then I was like doing some music business. I had a studio on 9th Avenue and 45th Street, with Danny Wyatt, Charles Stella. But then in about 2005, 2006, right, we got an offer from the Castillo Theater to work together to do music for a play. I think it was called Heiner Muller, Man Without a Behind.
Yeah. I think even before that,
Yeah, really.
Kim got me the gig playing at a birthday party for Gabrielle's 40th birthday party.
At the Castillo Theater.
Well, it was at a restaurant where they
Oh.
did it.
Uh-huh.
But that's where I got to know all of the people with the Castillo Theater, which is a big part of our story together.
Right.
Because we've been co-musical directors on many, many shows.
Yeah, I think 17 or 18 shows.
Yes. Oh, yeah, my outline went out. I have a list of even our
Oh, no, we got to stay organized.
shows, right? Well, we got some pictures of them. But now, in terms of your life, because you did live before you met me, you did quite a
Well, it
bit.
depends on what you mean by live,
Right.
but yeah.
Well, who was this guy? Oops, wait a minute. This guy.
Yes, that is me smoking a joint outside these caves in Trinidad in 1978. And inside these caves were these cave birds that were 6 feet tall with a 12-foot wingspan.
Oh my God.
And we went into the cave and we saw these birds.
Before you were high or afterwards?
Well, after I smoked the joint before I went in.
So we don't know what the birds
Well,
really
well,
look like.
yeah. there's-
12-foot wingspan?
Yeah, truth has been
right.
kind of slippery. So,
All right.
ooh, that's an oldie but a goodie, and that's more than 43 years ago.
Right.
That's 1974, August 74, Central Park Mall, Bandshell, right? Which is the place that I first saw the Grateful Dead in 1968, but this was the band Charlie Quasar. My brother Joe was the guitar player. Jerry McCord, who's all over these videos and all over our stuff, was the bass player of this band.
Now this was, you were telling me, the 70s. Musically was a very specific period for you. That was your rock and roll.
My rock and roll period. Played a lot of downtown clubs with Quasar, and then later with the Kieran Lisco Rhythm Band, where we played CBGBs, Upstairs at Max's, Great Gildersleeves, Hurrahs, lots of some fun times that were how shall we say, supported by a variety of inebriants. That might be a way.
You were a rock and roll guy.
I was a rock and roll guy. Till the late 70s when I got a little disillusioned with that.
Yeah.
And then I met a small community of political activists.
Now let's see. No, wait a minute. I'm just.
I may be jumping ahead a little here.
That's all right. We have Jerry McCord.
Let's do some Jerry McCord. Wonderful bass player. Jerry McCord lived in the same housing project that Joe and I lived in. So the Charlie Quasar band and one of our drummers, Rich Epstein, we all lived in what we called Queensview West, Astoria, Long Island City, 21st Street and 34th Avenue, for those of you who know the terrain. And then Neil Kaufman joined. We had two drummers, and Jamie Gramer played a little bit of flute and sang lead on a bunch of songs. Sextet, we call that maybe? Six members, right? And we had a lot of fun. We used to get week-long gigs at Folk City when it was on West 3rd Street in Manhattan. Mike Porco, right? And those were great. And we had a rabid following. So it felt like the same 150 people came to all 5 nights every week.
Wow, but people liked you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But one night during a sound check, Bob Dylan showed up. So Bob Dylan got to hear me sing Most Likely You Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine, and also in 1974. And then he went out and hired Howie Wyeth and Rob Stoner. Didn't hire Charlie Quasar.
Wow, I never heard that before.
Life would have been different, Bob. Well, maybe not.
All right.
What else you got here, Mike? There's Jerry and me again. These are when they made 33rd Street a walking mall, which it still is, between 7th and 8th. They hired a bunch of people to do music during the evening rush when people were coming off work and headed to Penn Station, which is right there. So Jerry and I did a bunch of duet gigs. We really got paid. It was probably the highest paying gig I ever did. It was great. We got paid like $1,000 a show.
Wow.
It was like fantastic. Ooh, now we're getting political.
Yeah, because now there's this whole other thing that happened in your life.
So the man who looks like me is me, and the man next to me is the late, great Gary Sinowski, maybe the greatest ballot access attorney America has ever known. And he and I co-led the 1988 ballot access drive, National Ballot Access Drive, 50 states, for Dr. Lenora Fulani, running as an independent candidate when she became the first African-American and first woman ever to access the ballot in every state.
Wow.
So that picture was taken at a party in 1988 after we got on all those ballots.
But now now we got to sort of fill in the back of that story a little bit. How you were this rock and roll guy, and at a certain point you became a part of a particular community.
Yes.
And that's an interesting story.
We were a community of
me.
activists that I joined in 1979. And we did social therapy, which is a wonderful form of group therapy, which actually helped me out of my sort of malaise and depression of not feeling it on the rock scene anymore. And then I became active in electoral politics, which eventually did a whole lot of petition drives and ballot access drives. And also right around that time, the therapy work also broadened to more methodological work with a kind of an organizing methodology we like to call social therapeutics, and that's the beginning of the East Side Institute, which is with whom I volunteer now,
Uh-huh.
right? And we've done many a workshop with Gwen Lowenheim, which were Eastside Institute workshops, where we created songs and poems, and we came to this studio.
Right. Well, we've
Right.
got
We got some pictures of
pictures of those.
Okay, maybe
but
we'll
now
get to that.
you were talking about some of the politics.
Oh,
that
there
you've
we go.
done.
Now, those
There
are
you are.
marches late in Dr. Filani's career. That was the
Yeah.
African American Day Parade. Oh.
I don't think we have a picture of Dr. Filani. I should have put her in the
Eh,
slideshow.
okay,
But
well,
look
you
her
can
up.
Google her.
You can look up Dr. Filani,
Filani.
the
And there's
first
me.
black woman to be on all 50 states for president.
For president.
And you got her
This is
there.
a number of years later when we
Right.
were protesting the privatization of public housing, which we're still protesting because,
Uh-huh.
we're trying to, fight for the people who live in public housing in New York City. Yeah.
Doing more politics.
Okay, now this is at a Dr. Filani forum in Harlem, and over my shoulder in the sunglasses is Alvader Frazier, an activist attorney and dear friend.
Yeah, I know her. Very
We
sweet
hang out a
woman.
lot, and this was me asking a question to Roy Ayers, who was Dr. Filani's guest at this particular gathering. And Roy Ayers is very political himself and a fantastic vibes player, and the most sampled musician, I believe, ever.
Roy Ayers. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. No
Yeah.
kidding. All right, let's see.
This is an anti-corruption awards sponsored by the New York City Independence Party, which is no more, but had a great run. We helped elect Michael Bloomfield mayor of New York City. Michael Bloomfield is the guitar player who inspired me. It's really an honor, Mr. Bloomberg, that I mixed this up. But Mike Bloomberg, who was a mayor for 3 terms, who we had a very good relationship with, and I think was a pretty decent mayor. We had some very exciting campaigns, and he got a lot of votes on the Independence Party line.
And that's June.
That's June Hirsch.
one of my
That's right,
favorite
my dear
people.
friend, and a great activist
Yeah,
in those
yeah.
days, and continues to be a fantastic organizer.
Yeah, sweet person. I like June a lot.
Yep.
And there's the two of us.
Yes, and that is at the Castillo Theater in that front room now, which is it became known as the Fred Newman Space. We do not work at there's no more Castillo Theater at that location. That building is up for sale. The pandemic put a little damper on the Castillo Theater run. But this was a little thing we did, I think, during the time when we were music director and working a lot of plays and events.
Right.
We did a kind of informal thing where we did background music and
for
sang a
something,
few
for
songs.
some kind of event.
Event,
there.
yeah.
Other gig we
This
did
is another
together.
event, the Spa Experience at Grand Central
Jerry
Terminal.
McCord again.
Jerry McCord again,
Me in the
as
background.
you. And we played trio music, and Premique Russell Tubbs, who was also in the band at that time, came in and sat in on one of the days. We played like 3 or 4 days, again, during Evening Rush
At the
Grand Central for Spa Finders magazine.
Yeah. We were hoping to get a spa gig.
Yeah.
Send us to a spa.
You know,
We
'cause
could
they
still
could-
go. We could play for your spa if you have a spa out there, right?
Yes.
We play
We
very
love the
relaxing
perks.
spa music.
Indeed.
Very cool stuff. Let's see. There's Premique you were
There's
talking about.
Premique during
Up close to us here.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess that's here.
No.
No, where is that?
was at the radio station. We did a live
Oh,
show on a radio
this
station.
was
You
great.
gotta remember
Right,
the
this
radio
was
station.
John DiLiberto and Echoes is the name of it's a syndicated radio show that played a bunch of our music, the Windwater music.
Mm-hmm.
And we did what's called a living room concert at their studio out in Pennsylvania. Right. That was one, that was like, we played so well. That was like a joy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that
They
was
put
really a lot
and
of
It was
fun.
great equipment and stuff.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
they
really
were
nice
very
and
well
done.
organized. Great, John DiLiberto, fantastic. The Echoes
Yeah.
program, I believe it's still on. Yeah, they
His show Echoes
Echoes
on the
Yeah,
radio
it was
show.
WFUV in New York, but it's syndicated, so it's like all over the country.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was fun.
My dear friend Don Holbert on flute, and this was, I believe, an Eastside Institute event. We would often perform together, improvise, or do torch songs, or do jazz songs. Don is a trained and excellent classical flautist. We never did classical stuff because I'm not a
Because
good
he
enough
improv-
reader for
but
that.
he
But
improvises.
I got him to improvise. He said, David,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I said, no, Don.
You can do it.
No stereotypes. You can develop You can improvise. We had some real fun. And this was definitely improvised. I can tell by my hand position.
Right. Improvising, a very big part
Yep.
of the whole East Side Institute and the Castillo Theater and the whole community. And interesting that you say about doing things that you don't think that you can do.
Right.
Going beyond your limits. A big part of the
Yeah,
philosophy.
Being
of the
ahead taller.
community.
That's right. That's right.
You can do things that you don't think you can do.
You can grow at any age.
Right.
I became a poet less than 10 years ago.
That's right. A published poet.
Published
Let's
poet,
see, I
baby.
think we have some. Now,
Ooh.
this is one of the plays that we musical directed. For.
This was fun. You remember this, Mike? The Task. Right. And it started with a jazz set. Right.
Yeah,
that Ava Jenkins sang.
right.
So we recorded like a whole set of jazz in this room, and then we did all kinds of crazy sound design. And then Fred Newman had written some of these little songs behind the Muller plays.
some big songs, right?
Yeah.
It
And
was a musical about the revolution in Haiti. Right?
Actually, the
Haiti.
failed revolution in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Task or the Mission, sometimes it's
Right,
called, depending
right.
on the translation. And and then the songs were great. And we had such fun with them. We made some reggae, and we made some swing, and we made some folk songs.
Yeah, this has been what we've gotten to do together that has been so great. Is, I do the keyboard stuff and Dave adding all the guitar.
Oh yeah,
makes
no,
sense
I
to
always
put
felt
stuff
like we
together.
were perfectly and are perfectly matched because you've got the keyboard thing, keyboard pop. You can do the classical and the string arrangements, and I can't do any of that, right? And I bring in the rock and the blues and the R&B on guitar. And
He
you
makes
do
me
great with
hipper.
that.
He makes me much hipper.
Yeah.
That's when he first met me. He was like, "This guy's too musical theater.
That's
I can't
right.
Work with this
I,
guy."
I had an anti-musical theater deviation,
Yeah.
which I got over
Yeah.
working with you
And
because
we've
we
done
really
all
had
this
fun
theater stuff.
Broadwaying it up, man. It was
How
great.
about this? Was a kind of a Broadway show we
Yeah,
did.
Sally and Tom.
That was one of the biggest things that we did. We got an award. We got an award. They gave it to me, but it was really for us.
Right, for the
Musical
music.
director.
Right, and the score was written by Fred Newman lyrics, and Annie Roboff wrote the music, as she did on a number of plays. Great songwriter, a hit Nashville songwriter.
This kiss, that was her big hit.
Yeah, she's a co-write on
Right.
This Kiss. Like, that's worth 2 houses, people. Back in the day when there was like things like the records actually were sold. Yeah.
Another picture
Pre-streamed.
from
This is
from
another Sally and Tom.
Sally and Tom, which
Yeah.
is a wonderful show about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
Right.
And the Constitution and America and
Yeah,
the
very-
American way.
Political,
Yeah,
romantic,
that
the whole
was,
thing.
one
Brilliant
of the
brilliant
best
play. One of Fred
stuff
Newman's
that we
best.
did, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
We did Votes. We did What Is to Be Dead.
Yep.
We did Still on the
Still
Corner.
on the Corner, another brilliant
Oh,
play.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
was that
a
fun? Great music.
Great show. I don't know that I have a picture from Still in the Corner, but a great show. Oh, and then we also did Coming of Age in Korea.
Right, and that's us at the,
the
opening night.
Right.
With some of the cast and
I
Gabrielle,
think
the
that's
director.
the only picture of Arnie there with the beard on the right side. That's our
there's
drummer.
Arnie. That's our
Arnie
drummer,
Wise.
right? And there's Annie Roboff right in the middle.
That one we were just talking about,
That's
the
right.
songwriter.
That's right.
And now we're going to be in trouble because I know in the green dress that's Gabrielle,
Now,
and the 2 singers.
the woman's name is Asia. I remember that because it's
you
spelled
remember.
AJA, like the Steely Dan
But
song.
do you
In fact,
remember his
her
name?
parents.
Oh yeah.
God, I don't remember his name. It is look-upable on the Castillo.org
Both
website.
very talented. Very talented.
Oh, they were great singers.
Very
He did a
talented
great
singers.
blues. And that was
they
great.
wrote-
That was
wrote
really
for
great.
for them. That was a lot of fun. And now here you are in a whole other world. That's you way over on the left
This
side
is
of the
Even
screen.
Under Bitterness, a show that was all Otto Rene Castillo poetry, and it was a mixing of this grouping in Germany, from Munich, Germany, came over here with some Castillo actors. I believe that's Madeline Chapman on the stage there. And there's you're on the. I'm sitting there way to the left in the picture. You're kind of not. You're barely
No,
Oh no, you weren't in
different,
this.
no, I wasn't
Right, that
in-
was the guy from
Another
Munich, the
piano
happy,
player,
right,
different
the
guy.
happy German, Michael,
Yeah.
and then the saxophone player. Oh right, the woman is Ava Luna, right, Madeline Chapman, and then sitting in the back with his saxophone is Sohrab Sadat Lajaverdi, who is the president of Musician for Musicians, a great musicians' rights organization that does fabulous events, particularly these webinars. We just did one on Fela Kuti that was absolutely slamming. We had a lot of people around him. And
He's a
Sohrab
musician with attitude.
is a musician with attitude and
That's
a
one of
great
his,
organizer.
monikers,
Yep.
right?
And he has a band, So Salah, that I play in, and I am also vice president of Musician for Musicians.
Yeah.
And if you are interested in signing up, it's only $100 a year. It supports all the activism to get better legislation for musicians' rights, as well as all the work we do for our musicians community. And you can contact me through Facebook, and I can tell you how to join. That's
You
great.
could be a musician for musicians.
That's
very
right.
good, very good.
Improv. That's David Nachman doing a little improv and me being perplexed. Sitting on the side of the stage.
That could happen. David Nachman and an improv, a very talented improv actor.
To be
Part
sure.
of the Loons. Wasn't
Right,
that
it was
the
the
name of the
Loons.
group?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
the different.
The Proverbial
The
Loons.
Proverbial Loons. David was one of them.
Yep. And
then let's see.
well, this is another improv where I think this might have been a play reading. I can't quite remember. I seem to be
Yeah,
reading. I was reading.
you've got scripts
And
there,
then the
so
woman,
anyway.
the older woman sitting down with
the
the
headband?
sort of the headband scarf thingy on her head,
Uh-huh.
that is the late, great Shotzi Weisberger, a fantastic political activist with New Alliance Party, Independence Party, and then later, toward the end of her life, with Jewish Voice for Peace. And someone I was on a team that helped her die basically in a loving way. It was really great.
Wow.
That was a couple of years ago that she left the planet. That's me reading poetry, I think, at KGB Bar.
Right, now this is sort of the newest chapter of your artistic life as you've become a poet.
Yep.
Published, you have a book published called World Gone Zoom.
Yep, it was a diary, a poetic diary of the lockdown period of the pandemic, and then all the political protests after George Floyd, and you're sort of scanning through now a number of poetry readings.
Right.
I read regularly at the open mic at the Neuronordic Institute does, Matt Hupert, and that's great, and we're now at Otto's Shrunken Head.
Oh, that's why I saw you checked in there on Facebook. I wondered what that was, Otto Show. And then I've seen you at the Moving Body Salon.
Moving Bodies, right. Moving Body Salons, Mary Abrams' beautiful space, Moving
Yeah,
Body
yeah,
Resources on West 27th Street. Very eclectic. We had a musician in one show.
Oh,
And
yeah?
we've had filmmakers, and we've had these crazy dancers with props, and I read poetry and play music, particularly with my friend Norman Salant, and that's a great outlet. Those things are always fun.
Yeah.
And I go to, if I'm not performing, I still go to them. Every month or so.
Yeah,
here
I've
in
gone
Manhattan.
many times. Moving Body Salon.
Yeah, yeah. There's one coming up this Friday, next Friday. Obviously, I'm a confused guy. I was in Amsterdam at the beginning of this, but yeah, they're great. So we'll.
Robert says spa music, not to be confused with ska music.
Yeah, definitely not.
No.
The
not-
ska's
not
pre-reggae. We've done a little of that too, but that's
A whole other
that's
thing.
A whole
That's
other
different.
thing.
David the poet. Now let's see.
Ooh, that's my longtime partner.
Yeah, can't
Kim
leave her
Sabota-
out.
Kim Sabota. We've been together 36 plus years.
Great person, wonderful human being.
Wonderful. It's been great living with her. She is a fantastic activist and fiber artist and collagist who is, man, living with her has just been a dream on a lot of levels, but watching her and her, the board where she puts up all her current work, I've watched amazing pieces be created,
Wow,
right?
wow.
Which is sort of like,
And
sort of,
I saw she was at an art show right
right
around
in the
corner.
wall corner
like
at J.
a half a
Dyke
block.
Galleries, yeah.
She did it, her
10th
artwork.
Avenue. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic
Yep.
stuff. She's just a lovely, lovely person, Kim. Very, very nice.
Ah,
Another lovely person.
There's you
Lois.
when you were in the beginning of the cancer treatments.
Yes,
right?
we
And,
had the same hairdo. I had to capture it.
Mine was, well, I guess they're both natural in a way.
Yeah.
And that's Lois Hulsman, the director and co-founder of the East Side Institute.
Oh, yeah.
And it's at the Smooth Spot. I can that's the cables that are right behind us here.
Yeah, it was here.
Yeah.
There was here.
Yep.
And
Yes, and that's I'm surprised I didn't recognize
yeah,
the
you've
vocal
been in
booth.
that booth.
I've been in that booth many a time because we not only do the vocals there, but it's a great place to record acoustic guitar, so we can record it both a direct signal from a pickup and with some really Mike Walsh here has the greatest microphones, and we've done these electroacoustic recordings of guitar.
A little unsolicited plug for the Smooth Spot recording studio.
I mean, I'll get paid for it just the same, but yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
No, this is a
Such
wonderful
pleasure.
place to
Such
work.
fun stuff
And if
we
you're a
do.
musician and you're in Manhattan or anywhere near Manhattan, this is a place. I call it home studio supreme, right?
Wow.
Michael not only has a isolated vocal booth or isolation booth, which is
There it is.
rare. There it is.
There it is. You can see it
right?
there.
And he also has a parlor grand piano. I got the size
I think
right.
that's the size
Yeah,
of
which
it,
I
right?
think we're going to
Right,
feature
right.
a little later in the broadcast.
Yeah, you can see it. There it is.
There it is.
There it is right there.
Yep. So hey, grand piano and vocal booth. Where are you going to get that?
Right.
You know, you don't get that in your usual
Now
basement.
let's see. And now you're talking
Hey.
about some of the workshops that
Now
we
that,
did
that
here.
workshop was fun. How to make and play a guitar, right? So we
right.
made guitars from like these guitar making kits,
Uh-huh.
right? And then we
and
brought
some,
other made,
rhythmic instruments
yeah,
too, which
slit
I still
drums,
have.
yeah.
I still have upstairs.
That's
I
right,
get
and
to keep
that's
them.
the whole group that came to make it. And there's Michael on the back right, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
then-
probably that.
Oh,
There's
now
Gwen
who's
Lowenheim.
out there. Gwen,
All
look, there's a
right.
picture of you.
And we did these great workshops where people would give us words, then we create poems, turn them into song lyrics, and then write a song.
Everything is a remix.
Everything is a remix
That's
workshop.
right.
That's
That was the
right.
name of
and
the
we did
workshop.
serious remixing.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was a lot of fun.
Man,
Creating
people partied. Yep.
art out of whatever, out of thin air, out of thoughts, out of whatever. And that was one of those workshops. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Everything is
that's
a
right.
remix.
That's right.
And another one of those.
Yeah, and also
maybe-
often the international class of the East Side Institute, which is our flagship program. It's a 9-month immersion. It's now pretty much all on Zoom. Well, before the pandemic, we used to do them in person.
Right.
And that's people
used
from
to
all
get
over
together.
the world. They
People
come
used
here.
to get together here.
Yep.
Back in the day before everything was on Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days when people would see each other in person.
Right? Another
Another
Gwen
one?
Lowenheim workshop.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's Lois down in the front. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's Gwen. There's Jan.
Yeah.
Jan Wooten. There's me in the hat when I had no hair. Let's see. Aha! Now we're very far away.
Another phase. David Belmont, world traveler.
Right. This
That
was
picture-
biggest trip of your life.
Yep.
Without a doubt. No doubt.
Three
no
and a half
hesitation.
weeks in China. And that is on the Yangtze River in the Three Gorges area. We took a cruise up the Yangtze from Chongqing all the way to Shanghai, right? But we took a little side boat off to do this, and this is a beautiful day. We got great weather.
Pretty.
Yangtze River, woo,
beautiful.
intense. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Yep. And
I've
did we
never
have-
gone. I've never gone to China. Yeah, we have more.
You've
pictures
been
of
all
China,
over the world,
but not
too.
to China.
Not to China.
China.
Oh,
That's,
you got some more
very
pictures
exotic.
of China here?
Oh
I like
yes,
talking
yes
about
we
China.
do. Oh, I
Now
like
this was amazing. This is the new territories outside Hong Kong toward the end of our stay. And this is a restaurant, right? And those fish and seafood and whatever that you see, you pick it and tell them how you want it prepared.
Now, if I picked one of those things, I would have no idea how I'd want it prepared.
Well, then
But
they would make suggestions.
They'd help you out.
You could say Szechuan style.
Oh, yeah. What kind of spices or what to put it on? Gwen says remix, so she was there. She remembers the remix workshop.
Oh, yeah. Hard to forget.
Yeah.
So this was a great restaurant in the new territories, right on the water. Some of this stuff had been caught that day in this cove.
That's
It was right
just
outside
so
the
wild.
restaurant. It was delicious.
Yeah,
It was
when I
delicious.
was in Japan, there was very interesting seafood and the ways that they sold it.
yeah.
You know, they're in a whole other level.
Yep.
There. in
Okay,
China.
this was a shop. God knows what that is. I think that was made of stone. And there's Kim on the left and a woman, I think, who was on the tour with us, right? So you can get a sense of how big that thing is.
Yeah.
You know, and that really has that real Chinese feel to me, this photo. And this was a shop that had like amazing amounts of stuff to buy. You know, from the very expensive, yeah.
Wow. Let's see.
No, this was great. This was a moment. Yeah. This is a zhang, which is the forerunner
Say
to
that
the koto.
again, a zhang?
Zhang. Z-H-E-N-G is how it's spelled phonetically. It's the forerunner to the instrument, the koto. And this woman was in a little gazebo, walking distance from Lake Tongting. Now, I know Lake Tongting from Chinese restaurants in Manhattan, Lake Tongting shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
But there actually is a Lake Tongting. It's in the
China.
basin off the Yangtze River.
Oh, wow.
I forget what city, but it was about maybe a few hundred kilometers from Shanghai.
So you were in the restaurant and she played, she was the entertainer?
No. This is outside.
Oh, okay.
She's in a gazebo outside in a big park that is on Lake Tongting. And Lake Tongting is huge.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you heard her play. She was
I heard her
giving
play.
a concert.
I was transfixed. She knew no English, but we were able to communicate a little
wow.
bit when I would mimetically, and she would show me stuff, and you know, and because you know, for a movie, for this Castillo movie, Nothing Really Happens. I worked with Yumi Kurosawa, who is a koto player, award-winning koto player from Japan. And so I'm enthralled by that instrument.
Yeah.
And
koto,
then I
it's
saw a zhang, which is sort of the Chinese version.
Wow.
Right? We just happened upon it. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
That's the school.
Now, why were you in a
So
school?
one of the
What
things
happened
that
here?
was on the tour, you know, the tour would stop. The boat characteristically would travel during the night. Then it would stop in these different cities. So then we stopped at a very small town here, and we went. This is kind of like a country school in China, right? And it's a multi-grade classroom. I think it was like 4, 5, and 6, right? So I hung out with the hoodlums in the back of the
let's see
room.
the hoodlum. I think we have a picture.
Yeah, I like these kids. And we just,
That's an
we had
adorable
fun.
picture.
They practiced their English, and I kind of messed around with them, and nobody paid attention to the teacher at all. So that sort of mimed my educational career. So I found like-minded young people
Yeah.
to hang out with in a
So
school
you were of no
setting.
help to their educational system there.
No,
you did
but
not
I-
help them.
But you know, not everything is cognitive and what the lessons are. I think you learn in school, and particularly after school environments, just by being in social situations.
Yeah.
So we created a fun social situation
Oh, that's
that
fantastic.
afternoon. in that
Great
school.
picture. Great picture.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think now we're done with us. We're done with China.
This is Australia. This is the area east of Melbourne. And we went on a private guide and we hung out with, Heather Hill is her name, who is a social worker and a friend of the East Side Institute.
Is she in the picture?
She is. So here are the people.
Okay.
All the way to the left is me looking like you. That's Kim. Then that's Gwen Mandel, my tennis buddy and dear friend, and also
I
a
know
political
Gwen.
activist with independent voting. And she and I have been to tennis tournaments together. We were actually a couple of days earlier at the Australian Open, right? And then that's Heather Hill. And then next to that is Anne Green, who came with us, right?
Oh, fun
And
crew.
this was supposed to be a wine tour, but we just sat and chatted for 3 hours at this restaurant at a small museum, getting to know Heather Hill and chatting about this and that. And that was just a wonderful day. And that was like the photo at the end of the day.
Wow.
And that trip was in 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You've been a lot of places. You've done a lot of things. You've
Yeah, no,
gone all
in
over the
fact,
place.
for tennis fans, I have a spectator slam. Spectator slam. So in 2011, I went to Wimbledon with my dear friend Mark Maislin, Faza Beam, another excellent theater artist, someone I worked with in the 1970s, and we're old friends stayed in touch. And then Australian Open 2014.
Wow.
And then 2015, we went to Paris for the French Open.
No
And
kidding.
a couple of weeks. So, and then, of course, the U.S. Open is here in New York. And I've been to it over 20 times.
Oh, no
So,
kidding. You're a big tennis fan.
I'm a big tennis fan, and I even now, as late in life, another thing, I started just before my 70th birthday to learn to play tennis. Why not?
You enjoy watching. Now you're a player
Yep.
with a new hip.
Right. I tried to take 2 years off because my body kind of went crazy, but now I have a new left hip replacement, and now I'm back out on the court, which
Fantastic.
I'm very happy about.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We've covered a good bit of the life of Dave.
Yeah, the life.
The life of Dave
The
here
life
on
of-
the Smooth
I got to
Spot.
call up
Remember
Eric
that?
Idle. He should do, Life of Brian.
Why not? Why not? Hey, why don't we
John Cleese. I mean, whatever.
why don't we play a little song
Oh,
together?
yeah.
What do you think about that?
Where are we going to do that?
I have just a place. If you go out the store and down a ways, there's a piano in the middle of the desert. I know that seems far-fetched.
But this whole thing has seemed pretty far-fetched, Mike.
Go.
So,
I'll
yeah.
make a couple of adjustments.
Okay,
later. I
you
got
do
it.
that. I'll head to the desert, man.
You head to the desert, and I'll meet you there.
Great.
Let's see. Okay. Hang on.
Mike, where are you? Mike.
There we are. I told you.
Oh,
I promised you.
Oh, baby.
I promised you.
That is awesome.
Where does it look like it is?
It looks like Nazareth to me, man.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, I know the song.
How
we
do you
gotta
like
do,
that?
man?
Yes, indeed.
Should we hit it?
Yes.
Hit it and not quit. Okay. Pulled into Nazareth, feeling about a half past dead. Just need a place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned, shook his head. No, was all he said. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me. Unpack my bag, went looking for a place to hide. Went up as Carmen and the devil walking side by side. So I said, hey Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said, well, I gotta go, but my friend, he could stick around. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me. Yes, you did now. Go down, Miss Moses. You know there's nothing you can say. It's just old news, and he's waiting on a judgment day. I said, Luke, old friend, what about young Anna Lee? To do me a favor, son, stay and keep Anna Lee company. Take a load off Fanny.
load right on me.
Now Crazy Chester, he followed me, cornered me in the bar. He said, I'll fix your rack if you take Jack my dog. Now I said, now wait a minute, Chester. You know I'm a feeble man. He said, that's okay, boys. Just feed him when you can. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. You put the load right on me. Time. Get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who left me here with these regards for everyone. Take a load off Fanny. Oh, take a load for free. Oh, take a load off. You put the load right on me.
All right,
My
Dave.
man! Yeah.
David Belmont.
That was
ladies
fun,
and gentlemen.
man. That
A lot
was
of fun. I'm
Yeah.
glad you could come out to the desert with me.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you could come and be on my show.
There you go. And I see a horse with no name somewhere around here, but we won't even
I'm
get into
glad you
that.
could be my friend, Dave. You changed my life. You made it a lot better.
Thank you, man. Back at you, Michael Walsh. There you
so
go.
much, man. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much for being
And
here.
everybody out there in Facebook TV land.
Thank you, folks, for
Been a
joining
pleasure.
us
Yes, definitely. And this has been recorded, so it's in posterity. It'll be on Michael Walsh's Facebook page, my Facebook
here.
page.
That's right.
It's great.
Say goodbye to everybody, Dave.
All righty.
Goodbye.
Take care.